everyone, welcome back to Education Experts. I am Bharti Sharma, your spoken English educator. I welcome you all in my new part of tenses series, which is based on simple past tense. Today, in this video, we are going to discuss what is simple past tense all about. So, let's get started. All right, now let's understand its definition first. The simple past tense, sometimes called the preterite, is used to talk about a completed action in the time before now. So basically, whatever the action is, if it has been completed in the past itself, and now there is no use of it now, maybe there is no result of it now, the action has been totally completed in the past and is not related to the present, that we call it as simple past tense. Clear? So, the simple past tense is the basic form of past tense in English. Time of the action can be recent past or the distant past, or the action duration is not important. Action duration is not important. It can be the recent past, it can be the distant past, right? So that we call it as simple past tense, and that's how we use simple past tense. Now there is one helping verb that we use at the time of simple past tense. Let me tell you guys, simply there are two helping verbs in two different types of tenses that you keep in. If you keep it in mind, you will never get confused, and because it's the simplest means simplest ever, it's the simplest tense, you can say, that you can remember. The structures would be very simple because of one helping verb only. And what are they? First one we have is this, that is simple past tense, and there is one simple helping verb which is did, and the other one is simple past perfect tense. That means past perfect tense, right? At the time of past perfect tense, we only use had, no matter what the subject is. Same goes with no matter what the subject is, we use only did at the time of negative and interrogative. This is the thing that you have to keep it in your mind. If you're talking about any negative sentence or interrogative sentence or double interrogative or negative interrogative, that means apart from affirmative, we use did in every type of sentences. Clear? But if we talk about past perfect tense, we use had with every type of sentence, whether it is affirmative, negative, interrogative, negative, double interrogative, whatever the sentences type belongs to. Clear? We have to use had. So these two are the most simplest and the simplest, you can say, that you can definitely remember all the time. There are only two helping verbs that you have to keep it in mind. While making sentence simple past tense, we use did, and while making sentence in past perfect tense, we use had. Simple. I hope it is clear for you. Now let's move on and see some examples of it. So first up we have is Steve Jones sailed to London in 1498, right? So Steve Jones sailed, that means the action has been completed in the past only, right? Now there is no connection to the present, right? So that we call it as simple past tense. Clear? Next up we have is his father died last year. I'm so sorry about this, that his father died last year. Last year his father has died, whatever, right? Next up we have is he lived in Dubai 1976. In 1976, he used to live in Dubai. He lived in Dubai in 1976. Both are the correct. We saw a movie last week. Again, he gave me a pen yesterday. We learnt our lesson. He did not play hockey yesterday. Sita did not sing a sweet song. Clear? So if you look at these sentences more closely, you will get to know that the action has been completed in the past and now there is no result of it, right? So that's how we use simple past tense. Now let's move forward and understand it in a deeper level. All right, now let's understand uses of simple past tense. We always use the simple past when you say something happened. So it is associated with a certain past time expressions. How? So basically we use often, sometimes, and always, right? So this sometimes shows the past time expressions in the sentences. Clear? Let's see some examples of it. I often brought my lunch to. That means I may not bring my lunch always, right? I often, maybe I rarely or I seldomly brought, right? So I often brought my lunch to school. Clear? Now, I sometimes walked home at lunchtime. I sometimes walked home at lunchtime. So both of these two sentences are expressing the time expression. Clear? And something has already happened. Clear? Next up we have is a definite point in time. So in this sentence, in this type of sentence, a definite point in time, that means that two sentences will definitely representing some last week, when I was a child, yesterday, 6 weeks ago, like this, right? Let's see some examples of it. I went to the theater last night. I went to the theater last night. He finished his work at 5 o'clock. He's finished his work at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, again, a definite point of time. Clear? Yesterday, I arrived in New Delhi. Yesterday. Clear? So, when you need to tell you the certain past time expressions, then also, and a definite point in time, then also you can use simple past tense. Now, let's understand some more uses of simple past tense. All right, now let's understand another use which says about an indefinite point in time, right? When we are talking about indefinite point of time, like before this we have understood a definite point of time. Now we are understanding the indefinite point in time. If we are saying the words like other day, ages ago, a long time ago, at that time we can use simple past tense. How? Let's see some examples of it. People lived in caves a long time ago. That means the time is not definite, right? A long time ago. We are not telling you the appropriate time when we are talking about, right? Next step we have is she played the piano when she was a child. When she was a child. Clear? I hope this is clear for you. So the word ago is a useful way of expressing the distance in the past. Clear? So that's why we use sometimes ago. It is placed after the time, after the period of time, like a week ago, 3 years ago, a minute ago. Clear? All right. Now let's understand signal words. So these are the signal words: yesterday, last month, last year, last night, last week. Basically, whatever the things, whatever the time we're talking about, that is always be connected to the past only. Clear? Note, we use V2 with the positive sentences, right? As I've told you that other, apart from affirmative sentences, we use did with every type of sentence. But if we're talking about positive sentences, that is affirmative sentences, at that time we use second form of the main verb. Clear? And the helping verb did is used with negative and interrogative sentences. Clear? I've already told you this. Now let's jump into the structures. All right, now it's time for you to understand sentence structure. First up we have is affirmative sentence, right? So the sentence structure for positive sentence would be subject, we to, object, other words, right? So that's the most simpler one I've told you. You just have to put second form of the main verb and the rest of the sentences according to you. First up we have is they recognized me 2 years ago. They recognized me, right? They have recognized you 2 years ago, right? Next up we have is I went to the Paris in 2022. She enrolled in my class. I went to school. They appeared for the exam. I watched television in the evening. I attended my English class today. I cleaned my room in the afternoon. She passed her test. Just look at the sentences more closely. You'll get to know that we didn't do anything except we have put only second form of the main verb. Recognized, went, enrolled, went, appeared, watched, attended, cleaned, and passed. Right? Other than that, subject, obviously, you don't need to care about subject now because you just have to put second for the waiver. It doesn't matter whatever the subject you are having. Clear? So this is how you make affirmative positive sentences. Let's move forward and understand negative sentence. All right, now let's understand sentence structure for negative sentences, and this is the structure. Right? I have told you only put did with negative, interrogative, interrogative, negative, and double interrogative. Each and every type will contain definitely negative. Also, the tricky thing that you have to keep it in mind, see, with positive sentences, we have used second form of the main verb, right? And we have not used did with that. But when we will use did in negative sentences, at that time you need to keep it in your mind that with did, always and always you have to keep first form of the main verb. Yes, that's a fact. Did we1, not we2. Did we1. Did we1. Did. Clear? Let's get started. They did not recognize, not recognized. They did not recognize me 2 years ago. Clear? This you have to keep it in mind. I have heard, I have listened, I have even noticed a lot of times that people are making this mistake. They use did plus V2, which is clear. All right, now let's understand the pronunciation. Let's understand the contraction form of did plus not. So contraction form of did plus not becomes didn't, or you can say didn't. Either you can say didn't or you can say didn't, right? You can see that in maybe a lot of foreign movies like Hollywood movies or songs, they don't say didn't, they say didn't, didn't, didn't. And didn't was also correct. If you Google it out, you will get to know didn't, right? So both are absolutely correct, so you don't need to care about this. So they didn't they didn't recognize me 2 years ago. Next up we have is I didn't eat my lunch. I did not eat my lunch. She didn't enroll in my class. If I would have written over here enrolled, that would be wrong, right? She did not enroll in my class. I did not wake up early in the morning. He did not catch the bus. The train did not arrive at the station. Rajiv did not write an email to his manager. They did not scold me. She did not go to the market. With each and every did, we have used V1. Clear? So I hope this is clear for you. Let's move forward and understand interrogative sentence structure. All right, now sentence structure for interrogative sentences would be did, subject, V1, object, and question mark. Yes, right? So just put did before the subject. Just put auxiliary verb before the subject. So this is your examples. Did you go to work today? Did you go to work today? Did you know about the Labor Act? Do you know about the Labor Act? Do you understand my words? Did they shift to America? Did Rohan score the goal? Did Victor turn on the lights? Did Rajiv write an email to his manager? Did they scold you? Did the government pass the Farmer Safety Act? So again, remember did plus 1. First up we have is go, not went. Next up we have is know, knew, not new. We have know. Understand, not understood. Shift, not shifted. Scored, turn, write, scold, pass. Right? Keeping it in mind, it's the most simpler one. Have to keep it in mind. Let's move forward. Sentence structure for interrogative negative sentences. Again, the sentence structure is exactly same. Did, subject. Because we're talking about negative, then we have to use not after the subject, right? So did plus subject plus not, V1, object plus question mark. So did you not go to work today? Did you not go to work today? Or you can also say it like didn't you go to work today? Didn't you go to work today? Didn't you know about the Child Labor Act? Did you understand my words? I'm telling you all of these sentences in first contraction forms. Then I'll read it out for you as a normal sentence. Clear? Didn't they shift to America? Didn't Rohan score the goal? Didn't Vijay turn on the lights? Didn't Rajiv write an email to his manager? Didn't they scold you? Didn't the government pass the Farmer Safety Act? Again, Now I will repeat the sentences in a normal way. Did you not go to work today? Did you not know about the Child Labor Act? Did you not understand my words? Did they not shift to America? Did Rohan not score the goal? Did Vijay turn on the lights? So this is how you can pronounce, this is how you can speak the sentences. It should always have this expression of questioning, right? Apart from this is very simple one. I know you have got this topic for sure. Let's move forward and understand the last type of sentences in this series, that is WH family, that is WH, or you can say double interrogative. All right, now sentence structure for WH family sentences would be this. Just put WH family before the whole structure of interrogative sentences. Otherwise, rest of the sentence structure is exactly the same. And this is, first one we have is for the positive sentences, and second one we have is for the negative sentences. So let's see some examples of this. What did you do? What did you do? Where did they go? When did the meeting start? Why did they not call back? Why did he not study for the test? How did this work? How did they do that? How did you do on the test? So basically, there's a slight difference. If we're talking about interrogative sentences, that means you have to answer it either in yes or maybe no, right? And if you're talking about double interrogative sentences, that means you have to keep it in mind. The answer should be in detail. If we are asking you, what did you do? That means, if in Hindi, that means, tum kya karte ho? What did you do? Tum kya karte ho? So you cannot answer this yes or no. You have to answer this yes, I do teach I do teach students, or I do this, I do that, whatever it is. Clear? That means whatever the question they're asking you, especially if the question is in double interrogative sentences, that means you have to answer that in clear. I hope this is clear for you. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. I'll be meeting you in my next video. Thank you so much and stay connected. Be happy.